Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Reverse 1999 reaction. It has been a while since I've listened to one of these, and I was just thinking about it the other day, how long it has been, and somebody today put a comment down saying I should listen to this one, and I'm like, you know what? I was just thinking about it, so why not actually listen to it? So this is Reasons, which is apparently a special EP from I assume a recent event, but I guess without further ado, I get to hear a new song from Reverse 1999 from a new composer as well, so let's go. Ooh. And we get a little video with it, okay. Might just be a still image with movement.
Caught in a storm, everything is gone, and I'm fighting to become more than I am now. Flaws never showed, mind is still unknown, and I'm left to atone.
Ooh.
Where's my way out?
That was really crunchy.
Again, bound by this spell, secrets arcane.
I'm kind of off put by the vocal choice. So far, at least. Yep, there it is. That's where this singer shines. Okay. There we are. I was concerned. It didn't feel right at first. But that's what you get for judging too quick. Also didn't expect it to take quite this route, musically. Really good bass line on that too.
And I don't know what is wrong, can't figure it out.
Very heavy bass line.
Shadows coming true, my world is torn in two. Where is my way out in here again? Trapped in myself. Save me, heal me. What are the reasons?
Vibing with this chorus especially. Ooh. Solo section, okay. I wasn't sure if I was gonna do a breakdown or something. Ooh. Trading off with the violin. All right.
Caught in the storm,
Was definitely cautious at the beginning. I've warmed up to it a little bit.
destined into dawn, found my way out. Save me,
All right.
I know the reasons left behind. Take me, fix me. I know
The good thing is there'll be quite a few things to talk about with this song. Definitely don't hate it. It's gonna be one of those rare cases where I have, I think, about equal of like positives and negatives that I want to discuss. It's been a while since I've had like a blend that even across the board. but fun nonetheless. All right, so a new composer comes with some pros and cons every single time. The pros being a new sound and a new approach. The cons usually circling around having to adjust for hearing a new sound. This one's kind of interesting because the composer, the songwriter, the lyricist, etc. is one guy, and it's Gabriel Franzese, and he's part of a band called Dead Marbles, and that's who's playing this song. The members of the band are all credited in the description there, and I had to go to the website to find that one out and make sure that that's exactly what was happening. I think this song is good overall. I think it's well written. I think his voice is kind of what's throwing me the most. I don't think he's got a bad voice. Clearly he can sing. I think it's mostly the phrasing, how short things like "caught in the storm," like he just ends it, and it feels like it should hold a little bit longer. I feel like he's choking out what could be a little bit more breath in the phrasing there, and that could just be a stylistic approach too. Maybe not one that really sits well for me, which is strange because I'm usually all for rock. It's one of my favorite genres of all time. But sometimes certain performers just take things in a different direction that I'm used to hearing, and that's one of them, where I feel like he was choking out a lot of the phrases, especially in the verses. Again, his voice especially shines for that chorus. That was really done well. The mixing is a little bit off, I would say. I think there was a little bit too much focus on the bass, honestly, which is rare. Usually there's a lot more of that like mid treble range than the bass range, but I think the bass shined a lot in this mix, and the drums were in there and those sounded okay too. Those were mixed pretty solid, but I feel like a lot of the guitar was just kind of slapped in the mid range and there wasn't too much variance going on in the highs or lows for the guitar, maybe even a little bit too much low for the guitar. There was just a lot missing in the treble range is what I'm trying to say. And again, with the vocals, during the chorus, they felt pretty shoved in the back, but during the verses, they almost felt a little too forward. So mixing is kind of a mixed bag here, no pun intended. I think overall it's all right, but there was just certain aspects I was expecting and hoping to hear a little bit more of, and getting more of that flavor in there, more of that tone that might have just been lost in the process overall. And that's not really the composer's fault by any means, but it's there and it does affect the song potentially negatively. But the overall composition, I actually enjoyed. I liked the way that the guitar was phrased throughout. I liked the progression that they were following. It felt pretty simple, but in like that classic 2000s like alt rock way that just makes you want to sit there and just vibe with it. It feels very much like a song that would be played at a live show at a bar, like kind of early stages of a band's career. That's the energy I'm getting from this, which feels weird because apparently the guitarist and the songwriter here is endorsed by Ernie Balls, so like clearly he's been around for a while, but the vibe of the band is kind of like newbie garage band, but I'm also not mad about that either. It feels very gig band, which I honestly kind of like. That's definitely a vibe I appreciate, but overall it's just kind of a mixed bag of goods and bads throughout. I like the composition, but I don't love the mixing. I like his voice when it gets to the more energetic rock side where he's able to like show that range and really belt it out, but then when he does those phrase things during the verses, I'm not adoring his choices there. So I'm not sure how I feel about this one. It's pretty rare I get a song that I don't just love, or I don't just go, ugh, that's kind of mid. This one is somewhere north of mid, south of fantastic. I don't know where that would fit. I feel like I should just say it's good. I don't know, because I feel like good is also an understatement. This is a very interesting opinion for me because I don't tend to land in this like gray, ethereal, slippery slope between those two. I just don't tend to land there, but I do like it. But there's just too many little things about it that I'm like, I love it. I can't say I love it. You know, it's very interesting. It's that sort of experience of not knowing what to expect, and why I like to hear new talent being thrown into these rings every once in a while. Cause like, yeah, I love Adam Gubman's work. He's a fantastic composer. I hear him all the time, and I can almost always guarantee to hear a good song every single time I hear his work. That said, it's also boring to hear the same composer on everything, so I like hearing different people. I like hearing variants. It's just, an issue of trying to adapt to that and be ready for not always hearing something that might be A plus S rank material, but might be closer to the B range, and that's perfectly fine too. I don't want this to sound like I'm shitting on this group. Like I said, overall, I enjoy the composition. Musically, it's very sound, and I adore that. Just tone-wise, there are definitely things in here that feel like nobody was fully sure either. The confidence, I think, on the mix here is what's really throwing me off. Every instrument feels like somebody else had a say in it, and things don't necessarily feel cohesive. Like every single layer I can piece out and drag apart and make complete sense of, and it doesn't feel like a unit, I think is really what the bummer is here. But overall, I'm going to digress on that opinion. I still think it's a good song, but it's also just kind of interesting to hear this genre being used because it's been a while since I've heard a general alt-rock song being used for especially a gacha game. It's been a couple of years since they've introduced that into things like Arknights, and it's been about a year since I've heard a song that's done straight metal in that field in general. Usually it's something like funk or an adjacent genre that's just being utilized, but like this specific sound isn't used all that much, and I got to appreciate it for at least that much. But I think that's about all I'm going to say on this one, so thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more from Reverse 1999 coming out of my channel, let me know what song I should get to down below, and I'll do my best to get to it as always. And of course, if you just like this video and you want to follow me and support me for more in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!